Hi, it's Ken Goldie. August already. I can't believe how fast summer's going by. My kids are going back to school this week. Summer went by like that. I hope you had a fabulous summer, wherever it is, whatever you did. I hope you found some rest and relaxation, all recharged to push through 2025 and accomplish all of your big, extraordinary goals in front of you. To do that, I want to talk today about leadership and what leadership really means. On a very fundamental level, leadership is going out first into the unknown and showing your people who are following you that they can be safe in their futures when they follow you into that unknown. There's a million of examples, but I want to give you a little example that kind of anchors for everybody. Making and fulfilling commitments. We all have issues at work and in our personal lives with other people around following through with the things we say we're going to do. In the workplace, it can be frustrating when people aren't delivering to you when they say they're going to, and then holding them accountable. And everybody has stories in their head around holding other people accountable and what that means, and wanting to be liked and therefore not holding people accountable. I want to give you an example of how leading into the unknown can work. And I want to do it by talking about the difference between commitments and agreements. Believe it or not, most people, most of the time, are not making commitments. They're making agreements. And this is how I define the difference between the two. An agreement can be rescheduled. Hey, I'm going to get you something Friday at noon, but Wednesday at 5, something else landed on my desk. So I'm calling you Wednesday at 5 to say that thing I was going to get you Friday at noon, I'm going to get you Tuesday at 10. That's rescheduling an agreement. Agreements can be reneged upon, just not doing it. They can be renegotiated. Hey, I agreed to this rate with you as a vendor, but I need to change it. So can we change it? It wasn't a commitment as a rate. It was an agreement. Most people, most of the time, by far in their lives, are making agreements, not commitments, because they're going into their agreements knowing that they can be rescheduled, they can be renegotiated, they can be reneged upon. And the people telling you what they're going to do for you are also making agreements. Commitments are inviolable. Commitments are cast in stone. Commitments cannot be renegotiated or rescheduled. The commitment is when I say it's going to get there Friday at noon, you don't even have to call me at 1:15 to make sure it's coming. By 11:59, it's going to be there. When you start making and fulfilling commitments in your life, people build a very high level of trust in you because they know the level that they can rely upon you for them. But here's the scary thing. We want the people who are following us, who are currently making agreements and maybe taking advantage of the ability to renegotiate, reschedule, and even renege upon their agreements. We want them to make commitments. We want them to hold these things as inviolable. But we're not leading the way to show them how, because it's scary for us too to say it will absolutely, positively be there, no exceptions, no excuses. And you can't just go to your people and say, hey, here's the difference between agreements and commitments, and I'm expecting you to make commitments from now on. You have to lead the way. And the way to lead the way is to first start making commitments to yourself. Start saying to yourself, not just, I'm going to get this stack of paperwork done tomorrow as kind of like a thing to do in your head, but actually say to yourself, I commit to myself to get this set of work done tomorrow by a certain time. And as that time starts drawing near and other things are going on and you feel like you're not going to get to it, your brain is going to say, that was a commitment I made to myself. And at the beginning, you're not going to fulfill it. You're going to still be in the habit of letting other things get in the way. But after a while, the more you start to say it, the more it'll start to reinforce itself for you. And pretty soon you're going to start saying, nope, I made that commitment. So I'm going to put this other thing aside that I think I need to do right now. And I'm going to do the thing that I committed to. And after a while, you're going to start building the muscle of actually making and fulfilling commitments to yourself. Then here's the next step. Make and fulfill commitments to others. Don't ask your team to make commitments to you. Go to your team. And when they say to you, hey, I need this thing from you, or to your boss, and when your boss says, hey, I need this thing from you, you say, yes, I commit to getting that to you by a certain date and a certain time. And the other person's going to go, you what? They're going to be a little confused by the language. They know what the word commitment is. They're just not used to using it because they're used to making agreements. And you say, what I'm doing is I'm saying, in this case, for this thing, you will absolutely positively get it there by that time. You don't need to check up on me for it, and then fulfill that. And the more you start to make specifically commitments to people, not everything, not always, just the things that you commit to and fulfill them, the more people will start to trust that when you say you are committed to it, it will be so. And after a while, after you've fulfilled consistently on your commitments with your boss or colleagues or clients or customers, or even at home in your personal life with your spouse or your children, you can start to say to people when they're going to tell you they're going to do something for you, is that an agreement or is that a commitment? And then let them say, you know what, this one's an agreement, this one's an agreement. But eventually, when people keep hearing you saying, I'm making a commitment and fulfilling it, they're going to start saying, that one's a commitment. And maybe they don't follow through the first time. And then you can hold them accountable by saying, hey, you committed to this. What happened? What happened that caused you to back down on a commitment and treat it like an agreement? And let them talk about what happened and talk them through until they start fulfilling commitments to you as well. And then you will have built a foundation of making and fulfilling commitments and being able to hold each other accountable to commitments because people have said this is a commitment. But the only way to get there is to lead the way. You have to go first and start making those commitments to your boss, to your colleagues, to your reports, to your family members, and telling people what you're doing so they see you doing it and they start to understand what it means. And then when you start asking them for it, you will have led the way. That is leadership in the specific instance of making and fulfilling commitments, but we can talk about hundreds, thousands of other instances where leaders are telling people to do things that they're not doing. And the only way to change a company structure and have your team do the things you really need them to do to move out of their comfort zones into accomplishing big new goals is for you to get into that uncomfortable unknown first and show them what it looks like to be there so that they feel more safe following you into that beautiful future that you want to create. That's my message to you for August. Have a wonderful rest of your summer, and I'll talk to you again soon.